Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Renee Kacz and I've received some feedback from the group that you'd love to know how to record an online interview. So I've had this question actually come up a few times, so I thought this would be a really great one to run through in a quick video with you and show you exactly how I do it. So today I'm going to be going through how you can do that using Zoom, but you can use any kind of software. The software I'm using is Zoom, so what I'll be talking to, some points will be specific to that, but not all of it. There's also some general information that I'll be sharing about how you can run an online interview. So the first step you need to do is to select the software that you're using. Like I said, I use Zoom, but you can look around and see other software that you might find useful. I even use the free Zoom. You would want to pay for it if you're running meetings with more than 2 people and you're going to go for more than 45 minutes. But say, for example, if you're just doing an interview with someone else and you're wanting to record that, it's you and one other person, you can record, you can go, I don't know what the limit is. I've gone well over an hour before, but there doesn't seem to be a time limit on that. But Zoom will charge you depending on the number of people on that call and also the number and the time. So if you're going over that 45 minutes with more than 2 people on there. A lot of network marketers use Zoom. It's really great software. It's really, I swear by it. I think it's amazing. I even use it to record webinars and things if I'm not doing them live. Then, so you can see, for example, like that screen that I've got it on at the moment, that's a PowerPoint slide, and I've just done it as one slide, and I'll show you specifically why. So if I'm just wanting to record something, for my mastermind group, my mentoring group, then I might record it in here first and then I can upload it straight to YouTube rather than using my complicated webinar software. I've got Webinar Jam, which is amazing, but it is, it's pretty full-on software and there's a lot of functionality with it. So if I just want to be doing something simple like this, I find it easier just to use Zoom and I just record myself. I close the meeting room and just record myself. So, yep, select your software. Step 1, select your software. Now, step 2, arrange the time and date that you're going to record your interview. I know this is really basic, but to set up a time that's going to work for you and for the other person. What I actually find is it's really helpful to use an online scheduler, online scheduling software. Now, there's quite a few that you can use. There's like Get Timely or Go Timely. What did I used to use? I used one that just started to really suck. I can't even remember the name of it. But what I use now is Calendly, Calendly, Calendly. And I find this is a fantastic software. This has saved me hours and hours because literally here, I'll stop sharing. You can see my face. There we go. And I've got someone on the line here so that you can see, there's Fiona. You can see what we'll be doing with the software and how to use it. So yeah, I use Calendly because I find that to be really, really helpful. It saves you hours and hours, so you don't have to to and fro between yourself and someone else of trying to pick a time to talk, even just for a 15-minute chat. I have Calendly set up, so that's an online scheduler. You just send them a link to the particular meeting type that you're inviting them to. So for an interview, for example, you can set it up in Calendly as an interview and the length of time that it goes for. You give them your Zoom meeting link in there so they can just meet you in the meeting room at the time of the interview, or you can even, like, for a 15-minute phone chat, I have that there because it's really hard to get hold of people these days. And just to pick up the phone and call someone, and people are kind of funny about phone calls these days, so I find that to be really helpful. And with Calendly and all those online scheduling softwares, they all link in with your Google Calendar. So they only work if you put your meetings and appointments and everything into your calendar. So if you don't have something in your calendar, in your phone, for example, in your phone, and then someone books in on your calendar, your online calendar, you'll get double bookings, which I've learned that the hard way. And I've also learned the hard way you need to put in your travel time. And with the Google Calendar, it's weird. It doesn't do the travel time properly. It does it for one way, but not the other way. So I literally, if I have a meeting with someone, I'll add an extra half hour or 45 minutes either side just to make sure that if I have a client book in either side of that, then I'm okay to make it to my other meetings as well. So that's, basic, pretty basic. Yes, you need to get the time and date. But using the online software is great as well, because if your interview is with someone overseas, then they can select the time in their time zone and it matches automatically with your time zone. So again, really awesome time saver technique there. Now, number 3. I've just got some notes here that I'm referring to, so I'll make sure I remember everything. Now, before you start, make sure you're well prepared for the interview, for the recording. So if you've got kids, make sure they're nowhere near you, or you can't hear them on the recording, because it can be really, really frustrating for people watching. You want to make sure it's just super clear, just you, and they can't hear other noises and distractions. So for example, I've got my doors closed, windows closed, everything's closed, so that any outside distractions and noises you can't hear. If I had family members or friends here or someone like that, you'd need to talk to them to make sure they can't come in while you're doing the recording, because it can be very distracting. So make sure that you've sorted the sound out. Check your surroundings as well. So stage your background. Now, I haven't really done anything to mine today, but what I would do normally is I would go through and I'd triple check what you can and can't see there. So previously, I lived in a place before, and it was a big house, but it was really hard to find just a nice background to record in front of. So I literally staged it. So I had a bookshelf behind me, and it was empty. So what I did, I populated with just a few things that were right for my target market, for people watching the video, so that if they saw it, then they'd be like, oh, I know that book, or they'd connect with the things that, a vase with some nice flowers, and just a few little things. So nothing detracting from what I was talking about, but just enough to make it look okay. But I was recording on my phone, and your phone is great to record from. You can change the settings in the camera so that you can use the back camera, and you can get a really high quality recording out of it. And I literally had the phone inside a wardrobe, propped up, so it was at the right angle, recording at me so I could record this video. So, you've got to get really creative with these things. Make sure your background looks good, that it's supporting what you're doing. It's not going to be detracting. I've got, my business is also quite personally branded, so it's okay that I've got photos and things like that. I've got a picture of my dad behind me, but that's okay because I've got a personally branded business. If you don't have a personally branded business, if it's more clinical, you want to check that you've got a more clinical background, so it's fitting with your brand and your image. So you've checked your surroundings, hair and makeup. You don't need to bother too much with makeup fully. It's a bit of extra blush, maybe a little bit of extra bronzer maybe. I don't even have any eye makeup on. I've just put mascara on, but it's up to you how full on you want to go with that. Keep a glass of water handy, because you don't know when you're going to need it, during the presentation or whatever. Like sometimes you might have a coughing fit and you don't want to have a coughing fit, so make sure you've got that handy. Turn off your phone, and sometimes it's better actually just to have it off, not even just on silent, because when these vibrate, they can sound like farts. So you don't want someone to think that you're like, what if you get all these messages or phone calls come through? It sounds like you're farting. So turn off your phone. Now with Zoom, it depends. So I use a Mac, and my sound quality seems to be okay just recording it straight from my laptop, but sometimes you've got to check depending on where you are as well. Sometimes it doesn't sound the best, so you want to test your software beforehand. So always do a recording before, double check it's working as it should be and it sounds okay. You can just use your iPhone, if you've got an iPhone, or whatever your phone is, your headphones, because this has a recording device in it as well. I have got professional microphones that I use, but if I were to use it for this now, I wouldn't be able to hear the sound back. So that's fine if it's just me, but this one doesn't allow me to hear sound back as well. So if I'm interviewing someone else, I wouldn't be able to hear them. So again, if I was recording it by myself, then I would probably use the microphone, because it just cancels out noise behind you. So that, I don't know if you could hear that. There was a truck that just drove past. So if I was using my microphone, you wouldn't be able to hear that. It just captures my voice, which is really handy. Laptop height. So when you're recording, yeah, I'll just switch the view so you can just, oh wait, that's just Fiona now. Okay, so I'll have a play. There we go. So now it's just me. And I'll show you how to do that shortly. So laptop height. This makes a huge difference. So that's how I look now. Now I just have it propped up on a couple of books at the moment. But if I drop this down, you see I suddenly have a really fat face. It just doesn't look as good. It's just, that's just not a great angle, is it? It looks a bit yucky. So play around with that beforehand. And again, so I don't want you to necessarily see my kitchen with my pots over there. So I just prop it over this way. Again, so I can have it straight on and that's what you'd see, or I just turn it slowly. That way you wouldn't know. I can move this side a bit. Again, so it's just making sure that you've fully staged everything. And that's pretty easy to do. So headphones handy, laptop. Okay. Turn off your email and Skype because otherwise you get those notifications coming up and there's that noise and it's just a bit distracting for people. Lighting. So that's without a light. It's okay at this time of day, but that just looks a bit better. So play around with your lighting. Again, you need to be careful how it is because if it's at the wrong angle, it's going to look terrible. I can't move that around. I was going to show you as an example. You don't want it to make it look like you've got a mega nose as well if the light's in the wrong angle. You want it to be going directly at you, not down. Yeah, otherwise it's not a pretty look. Before you start as well, make sure you go to the bathroom. Again, you don't want to get on the interview, start recording and annoy the other person by having to stop by going to the bathroom. And select appropriate clothes. So what you can't see is that I'm wearing my Ugg boots and a pair of activewear pants right now. You know, you can't see beneath, you can't even see the table. So long as here up looks okay, again, stage it. Everything has to be staged. Make sure it looks appropriate for what you're presenting on. So they're the main points of what you need to prepare beforehand. Now, if you've got notes, I can literally put these up on my screen here. And you can't see that. So that looks like, if I were to read them like that, it kind of looks like I'm looking more at the screen and at you directly at the camera. So you can't actually tell what I'm doing. Whereas if I have my notes back down where they were before, you can really tell that I'm reading off notes and it doesn't look as good. You can actually have it on your screen as well. So that's another thing that I do. I actually have my notes if I've got them on my computer, because you're not sharing your screen. You can use the share screen function, but if you've got notes on your computer that you're reading off, that's fine. Just make sure that it's high enough up because the camera's at the top. And if I'm looking at the bottom of my screen, it can look a bit funny. So you want to keep what you're looking at as high up as possible. So they're the main things, the do's and don'ts of what you need to do beforehand. Now, to actually start your Zoom recording, this is what you do. These are the step-by-step instructions. So first of all, you sign up with a Zoom account, zoom.us. There's no wwws, there's no .coms or anything like that. It's just Zoom, ZOOM.us. Sign up for an account. Again, so I've got the free one, which for me works perfectly fine for what I use it for. There is some software you'll need to download. So download that software. It is really handy having that because, so for example, after this recording, it automatically uploads the recording to my phone, to my laptop where I'm recording it from. So you need to download that software. Then once you've downloaded it and you've got your own account, you log in. So on the right-hand side, you just select on the zoom.us page, my account. Then when that opens up, what you'll see inside there is it says personal meeting ID and you got 10 numbers there. That's your unique meeting room. So right now I have, as you saw before, I have Fiona here. She's in my meeting room and underneath your unique meeting room, you've got a URL there. So it's like https://zoom.us/j/ then those numbers, whatever it is, you just copy that. So when you're inviting someone into your meeting room, or you're going to do the interview, for example, so if I do mine through Calendly, there's a couple ways you can do it. Firstly, if I just were to invite Fiona and we're going to have a meeting via my Zoom meeting room, I could just email her the link, say meet in my meeting room at this time. Or, for example, if you're using Calendly, the online scheduler, you actually have that in your Calendly booking, so the person knows, meet me in my meeting room at this time, here's the link. And then it's a fully automated process. You don't have to ever engage with that person. Once they've got your Calendly booking link, they do that and they meet you in your meeting room at the required time. So then to start, so you've done all that. So you've organized the time and date that you're interviewing the person. You've got your Zoom set up. Then you actually need to start the meeting. So to start the meeting, that link that you shared with someone, with that person, with your interviewee, you just click on that, you open that. Or if you've downloaded the software to your laptop, at the top, well for me anyway on my Mac, at the top, like you know where your Dropbox thing is and your Wi-Fi rainbow, up there I've actually got a little Zoom icon. So I just click on that and I can say start a meeting with a video, start a meeting without a video. So for this one, I just clicked on start a meeting with video. There is another thing somewhere with Zoom, which is like start an instant meeting. Don't press that because that's not your meeting ID. It's a different ID. It's like a one-off ID and the instant ones aren't great. So if you've got that meeting room open, you've given someone your meeting room ID. They don't talk to each other. They're two different things. So just don't do the instant one. Just stick with your meeting room ID and open your meeting room, which you can just follow the link to it. Or what can happen is if someone you've got your interviewee and if they've beat you to your meeting room. So I always start my meetings bang on the hour, like at that minute. So if it's a 4 o'clock meeting, then I'll go into my room at 4 p.m. exactly. But a lot of attendees like to get there early. So if they've got there early, you'll actually get an email notification saying so-and-so is waiting in your meeting room. And you can just click on that link to get in there. So the ways to get into it are the thing at the top of the little icon at the top of your computer on your home screen, next to your Wi-Fi rainbow, or clicking on the actual link that you've shared for someone to get in there, or via that email where it says this person's in your meeting room. But don't do the instant access one. So that's those main points. Then once you've opened the meeting room, okay, so your participant is in there. So let's just switch back to gallery view. There's Fiona. So Fiona is in the meeting room. That's great. We've started. Now what you can do is, so I've asked her to mute out. So you can see here on the left-hand side, Fiona has, I hope that records so you can see that. She's muted out herself so that you can't hear her, which is fine in this situation, but normally you'd want to be able to hear her, but in certain circumstances you don't. That's really a very helpful tool. Now that's the difference between a paid account and a free account as well. With a free account, I can't mute her out, I don't think. If I go to manage participants, oh yeah, I can. I can actually. So at the bottom of the screen, it says manage participants. And in there, you can see everyone. Excuse me. Lucky I have my water here. It says manage participants. Now you can go in there and you can mute someone. So I could unmute her now, or I could stop the video for her, make her the host, allow her to record. Well, that's really handy if you want the other person to record it. Put it on hold, or I can remove her. I could kick her out if I wanted. Now, what else is really important here? Now, I don't think that Zoom actually lets you see these functions that I'm pulling up, but it's very simple. It's great software. It's really easy to use. Again, at the bottom in the middle of the screen, it says manage participants. Actually, let me share my screen so you can see what I'm doing. Let me get out of that. No, it won't let me share that screen. New share. No. Okay, never mind. I was hoping to show you specifically what I could see at this side, but you can't. I can't do that. So where it says manage participants, what you want to do is click on that. This is very important for every meeting you do. Make sure you select the, so it says manage participants and it comes up with a little box, and then at the bottom it says more. Click on more and then lock meeting room. because if you don't lock your meeting room, other people can come in. Anyone who has your link can come in, and that can happen at any time. And it has happened to me in the past where I've had one client session almost back to back with another one, but we were running overtime with the first session. And the second one, she was super keen to get on there early. And then so I had one client coming into the other one. I was like, quick. Luckily, she didn't hear anything because I saw her pop up before anything happened. So avoid making that mistake. Just close that screen out so that can't happen. And once you're in your Zoom meeting room, now this is great, there's so much functionality. Like I said, at the bottom there's the share screen function. You can share, me as the host, I can share my screen, or I can let Fiona share her screen. So that's great as well. So if you're a coach, you're in a coaching call, you've had a client do something, maybe for whatever reason you don't share the document in a Dropbox, but maybe you want to see her screen or there's something that she's doing, I can get her to open her screen up and share with me specifically. Or in my coaching sessions, I might pull up a document that I'm working on. I want them to see live the changes that I'm doing to it. Or like I said, so when I do interviews, so for example, I run masterclasses. And what happens is I have so I will introduce the speaker, the expert. And what we've got, we use slides. We've got a slideshow. So what happens is we actually start the meeting. We start the meeting like this, and then my expert, so in this case it's Fiona. Fiona as the expert I'd get her to share her screen, and on her share screen at her end, she has her slides for the presentation. So then we open it up, and so like you saw earlier when I did my share screen, it would be like this. It would open up like this. So you as the user, all you see as the viewer is this. And at my end, at the host end, I can click on some buttons and I can say, yep, so I'd share my screen before I start. So this is all you'd see is the very beginning. But it would have the other expert there, and it would be a whole slideshow that would be there. And I can press record once this is up. So let's pretend we've just started it. I'm hitting record. So like I did for this one, I started on this screen for you because I wanted to show this point. So I'm starting to record, and then so for example, I would introduce, so with my masterclasses, I introduce the expert. Hi, I'm Renee Kacz, I'm a business coach, blah, 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 run the Inspired Women of Perth. Introducing the expert today. Our expert is Fiona Kacz-Bolton. She's going to speak to us about stress management or fertility or whatever it is that she's speaking on. And then Fiona would say, thanks, this is great. And then she'd start talking, and she, at her end, is actually sharing her screen. Even though I'm the host and I'm in charge, she's sharing her screen because then she can manage those slides and click through the slideshow. And then at the very end, we can close off and we can stop the share, and then we can show us again, or we don't have to show us at all. With my masterclasses, I don't show the people that I'm interviewing. We just go through the presentation, but it's up to you how you want to do it. So there's a lot of functionality with Zoom, and I think I've gone through the main things. And yeah, so you can change this view as well. So at the moment, you can see both of us. You can switch to active speaker or just click on some things. You can make it like that. Just have a play around with how you want it. How I had it before was I was somehow on top. I don't know. So just play with it, whatever works for you. So that's it for this instructional video. I hope that's been really helpful for you. Fiona, I know you were asking some questions around how to do this. Has that answered your questions? Feel free to unmute yourself.
Yes. Honestly, I was about to say, what about if they've got slides and you're interviewing them? But you've just covered that, so thank you.
Perfect. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. And when you want to finish the recording, you just click on the stop recording button at the bottom. And what happens is automatically, now until you finish the meeting, as the host, you need to click on end meeting. Otherwise, it's still just going to keep going. It won't be recording anymore, but it will still keep going between yourself and the other participant. And automatically, once you close out of the meeting room, then the video downloads. So Fiona and I are going to continue on our conversation now after this. So I won't get to see the download. It won't start downloading until she and I stop that conversation, say end meeting, and then it automatically uploads to my computer. Now from there, it's your decision as to what you want to do with it. I'm going to share this. I'm going to then, so it's an MP4 file, which saves to your computer. You get the audio, you get the video, and you get another audio file as something else. So you get 3 files. I just save the videos. I don't use the audios for other stuff. And what I do personally, for this one, I'm going to upload it to YouTube, to my YouTube account. You could use Vimeo or YouTube. But if you're going to share it to Facebook, just remember, Facebook does not like YouTube. Facebook is owned by Facebook. They own Instagram. Google owns YouTube. They don't like each other. For your website, you want things on YouTube because Google owns YouTube, so it's great for SEO. So you'd want to upload it. So upload your video to YouTube and share it from there. But in Facebook, if I share this video, which is going to be a YouTube video, into Facebook, it just doesn't optimize it for imagery and how it looks. Whereas what you can do as an alternative, you can upload the MP4 directly to to Facebook. So that's another option. I'm not going to do that in this case, but you can. You absolutely can do that. So they're the main points I wanted to share with you. Hope you found this helpful. And that's it. I'm Renee Kacz. You want any more business tools, tips, and advice, just go to reneekacz.com, RENEEKACZ.com. Adios.